successful improvements in order to determine how organisations perceive effectiveness.
Yeah.
Would there be any benefit in analysing unsuccessful improvements?
It would be beneficial, but as I have been researching, it's very hard to find data on unsuccessful improvements. Everyone wants to publish the successful ones. And this should be to construct an idea of the effectiveness. So you say, when you improve effectiveness, what do you improve? What is your perception of effectiveness? If he did not improve, I could ask, what was not improved? It should be improved. But it's a much harder question than have a concrete improvement and say, we have improved in this and this and that. This is how it would benefit us. But it's much more concrete and say, if these and these and that had been improved, it's very hard to someone to think of something that did not happen.
The way that comes from is the concept of process effectiveness relates to what the declared process purpose is. And the fact that it's declared doesn't mean that's what everybody does. There's usually process as informed as far as the process is published. So trying to establish or trying to devise some sort of assessment for process effectiveness doesn't make any sense until you know what we mean by effectiveness. Well, you figure the easiest way of doing that is have a look at what people do to improve the process, with the presumption that their improvements are aimed at improving the effectiveness of the process in some fashion. So through that we get some grip on what people consider to be effective. That was the general idea. And yeah, it'd be great to get all of unsuccessful process improvements as well, because the fact that it didn't succeed doesn't mean does not mean
it's not valuable.
It's not valuable, or that they would not continue to make it more effective. In fact, they couldn't do it, it doesn't matter.
The other thing is really just related to scope. This is for a doctoral proposal, is it?
Yes.
That's what I was trying to establish, because I wasn't sure whether you were doing masters or doctorate.
Sorry,
It's quite ambitious for...
Okay.
And the
I
other...
did not establish
Yeah,
that.
that's okay.
That was a PhD.
One other, it's more of a comment than I think it's related to what Tom said, is that these models always say that they are assessing sets of practices, or they're suggesting sets of practices, etc. But of course, they're not based on what people are doing, they're just nice another little statements about this is what we think you should be doing. But I think this is really important to research.
Yeah, that's the idea, to get away from the, well, I think you should do this, then we can prove that you should do this. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
We will discuss your precision and accuracy later.
Wasn't too bad to sum up.
Consistency.
You can have this audience.
Yeah, well, but I do have a question for you. During the presentation, you mixed up, or appeared to mix up, assessing the effectiveness of process improvement and assessing the effectiveness of process. Now, I don't know which you intend to investigate.
Okay, because as the model for process assessment have been developed basically and mostly for software process improvement, this is the area you have more data available about that. But as I said before, they have a general concept of process. So if we make an investigation, even if it's based on software process improvement, these results, as they have the same framework for process, it could be used for different areas.
You haven't answered my question. Are you investigating the effectiveness of process or the effectiveness of process improvement?
The effectiveness of process.
Okay, then keep that and keep it consistent.
But I have to investigate in some context. I cannot investigate.
You investigate the effectiveness of process through our observations of process improvement. But we're not investigating how effective process improvement initiatives are. We're investigating the effectiveness of process. You had something?
No, it's fine.
That's all right. Any
questions? None? Okay.